This is the Mashiach. Okay, I'll be out of the page. Maimer Zion. We learned that the major difference between Torah Sheh and Torah Sheh Bal Peh is, we've spoken a lot about this, that the Torah Sheh is something which is delivered to us, prepackaged, pre-digested, everything is there, just here's the Torah Sheh, and Torah Sheh Bal Peh is something we need to struggle for. Which we all know, anybody who's also in Torah Sheh Bal Peh knows you need to struggle for Torah Sheh Bal Peh. And therefore it follows that Al Pi HaZohar, the Luchos Rishonos, were Torah Sheh B'Ksav, it was just given to us. And the Luchos Shniyos were Torah Sheh Bal Peh, which needed, the Luchos Shniyos came Acher Hachet. The difference between the Luchos Rishonos and Luchos Shniyos, the Luchos Shniyos came Acher Hachet. It's the Chet which is Goyim the struggle. Yeah, if you're not Chote, if the Klal Yisrael never would have done the Chet, so then there wouldn't have been a need to struggle. There would still be prophecy in Klal Yisrael, and we would just get the word. Just get the word. Should we go to war? Should we not go to war? Should we go to business? Should we not go to business? You just get the word. You think so? I think we're good. Straight. Good on the one hand, but you know.
What kind of work on our part?
No. I don't know if it would have any geschmack. Maybe it's worth being mevater on the geschmack. Yeah.
It's a comfort.
Moshe Weinstein used to say, "Schwer zu sein a Yid, aber sie geschmack." That's what he used to say all the time. But okay, the point is different. Whether our question here is not whether this is more geschmack or that's more geschmack. The question is what's more vast, what's deeper, what goes more into the pnimius ha'adam. And the truth of the matter is, the Torah Sheh Bal Peh is a more valuable, in terms of the pnimius ha'adam, is more valuable to Klal Yisrael than Torah Sheh B'Ksav. How do I have the audacity to say that? Because Torah Sheh B'Ksav was very short-lived. The pnimius was very short-lived. They made an egel immediately. The first thing that goes wrong, Moshe Rabbeinu is late. As soon as he's late, let's make an egel. Yeah. As a rabbi in America, I used to do that every time I came late 1 minute. Doing averos. Where's the rabbi? Why is he here? How much we pay him too much? Get a whole egel out of the whole thing.
That was created
Jewish late. Get it late.
That was created Jewish time.
Yeah, Jewish time. But anyway, so in terms of the depth and reaching deep into our resources and involving the participation, the human participation in Torah, which is so much deeper, Torah Sheh Bal Peh wins. And this was the Luchos Rishonos, Luchos Shniyos. We learned this was the Maimed of Har Sinai and the Kimu v'Kiblu b'mei Achashverosh. That after the Bayis Rishon it was Nachrav already. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said we're going to find a whole new way here, and it became the Hagdara of the Luchos Shniyos in the sense that it's the struggle of Golus, which is going to bring a different kind of Torah, which is going to last. And the truth of the matter is that was Gorem, the Kimu v'Kiblu b'mei Achashverosh, that 70 years there between the Bayis Rishon and Bayis Sheni caused the formation of the Anshe Knesset Hagdolah, which was the beginning of Torah Sheh Bal Peh as we know it. And in there was Kama Nevi'im, as the Rambam says. So it was a sort of the beginning of the mizug between Torah Sheh B'Ksav and Torah Sheh Bal Peh, between that which is handed down to us on a golden platter, like Matan Torah of Shavuos, to to the mountain Torah of Purim, if you will, where one has to struggle for it. So Rabbi Tzadok says as follows: Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Acher Ma'aser Egel. See if we can find it inside. It'll be a chashuk. Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Acher Ma'aser Egel V'Slicha. Moshe Rabbeinu after the Egel, after Hashem said, Solachti Kidvarecha. Simon Zion, Maimer Zion. You need one official placekeeper. Do you have it?
Maimer Zion in which choice?
Well, my OCs are different than yours, but mine is. So you're probably asking, so why don't I use this cipher?
Oh, there it is. The first column, 327 every 10 minutes down.
Exactly. Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Acher Ma'aser Egel V'Slicha. There was an Egel. There was a Salachti Kidvarecha. It was only then that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to say to Hashem, Bikesh Moshe Hareini Na Es Kvodecha. Beautiful. It was only then. Why didn't he ask this during the time of getting the Luchos Rishonos? Hashem, I want to see your face. Why did he only ask this after the Egel? After the V'Salachti Kidvarecha. By the way, I once looked at the Ramban, not the Sor. Nobody's ain't no duck. Nobody's medayik on the Zman here. Dafka after the answer is, in my words, Makom she Balei Tshuva in Tzadikim Gemurim Yechal Lamed Sham. I'm Bal Tshuva now. I'm Bal Tshuva. I could ask further. I could ask more. I could ask deeper. So Pikesh Hareini Nas Kvodecha. It was only here that he said, Hashem, let me see you. It says, you're giving me the Torah. I see the Torah, I want to see you. I want to see you, I want to see the Torah. Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Because understanding, fathoming Torah Sheh Bal Peh, who ikar hadara ukvayda v'sifarta kiniskar. Understanding Torah Sheh Bal Peh is seeing the Pnei Hashem. And that's what it means when we say Hamakom the Balei Tshuva Sheba. That's the Makom of Balei Tshuva. Makom Shebalei Tshuva Imdim Ein Tzadikim Michal Gemur Michal Lamed Sham. It's a Makom. It's a Makom. It's not a state of mind. It's a Makom. It's one of your wives. Zel Asagas Hamakom the Bal Tshuva Sheba Acher Hachet. The Bal Tshuva has a certain makom that he stands in after a chet, after tshuva. He's in a different place. She Isa pasuk b'roiv chachma roiv kas. Pasuk says in Koheles, roiv chachma roiv kas il malei chatu. Like Nasnu Lahem Elachamishachum Shetar V'Sefer Yeshua. The Gemara Nedarim learns out that it was the Kas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Averis of Klal Yisrael which brought us to a place past Chumash. That's how we graduated to Kita Chet. We got to past Chamishachum Shetar, past Sefer Yeshua. We got into Torah Sheh Bal Peh. The Riboy HaChachma, the Torah Sheh Bal Peh, Shemischadesh. Umisrabe b'chol dor v'dor lein shir. Such a dynamic thing. Torah Sheh Bal Peh keeps on getting more and more and more and more. Chumash stays what it is, but look at Torah Sheh Bal Peh. The library grows and grows and grows. I always mention that my printer that I frequent all the time, it's up to 50, 60 new Svarim a month. This is my printer. There's hundreds of printers in Israel. 50, 60 brand new Svarim a month. I mean, we're talking renaissance of Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Umitzad HaHelam, it comes from Helam. You know what? The Helam is the Holocaust. Umitzad HaHelam, Sheina Davar Golu Yala Yidei Yigiyas HaSeichel. Because when you lose that the tradition, and you have to reconstruct, and you have to really put your mind to it, and your heart, and your neshama, and pilpul chaverim, and sit down and try to reconstruct, you end up with a much deeper place than if you never lost it to begin with. Ironically, so it was only chet that gave us the schus. This is the Rabbi Tzadok's glorification of chet. It's only chet and tshuva that gave us the schus of Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Shekol ma she'achoshech miskaber ken yisrain ha'or haba min ha'choshech. So much, the darker it is, the greater appreciation there is for even a drop of light.
So you
A
may
drop of light you would have never noticed. If I would light a little light here, turn my cell phone on, you would never notice. But if we're in a pitch black situation, somebody opens the cell phone, whoa, changes the whole atmosphere.
so in Yemei Mashiach, when he gives us all the answers, Torah Sheh Bal Peh will stop, I presume.
I presume too. Tishbi, Yitara, it's Kushus, Vabayas. The Chavetz Chaim said that it's his avodah is to look forward to that time because it's not his nature, where everything will be easy.
Also Geschmacks.
Yeah, but also there won't be so many illnesses or so many wars. It's got some miles to it. That's it. וזה בא לידי ריבוי החטאים שכל מה שהחושך מסגבר כן ישרן or הבא מן החושך. It's geschmack. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to argue what's more geschmack, what's not more geschmack. Gula, gullus. But the point is that there wouldn't be a Torah Sheh Bal Peh if not for the darkness of gullus. It wouldn't be.
Do we really know if it's going to be smart or not? I mean, how do we come close to understanding it? It's like trying to understand what happened before the world was made. It's totally a different world, right?
Well, let's put it this way: the things that we're used to doing, the labor that we're used to doing.
So does it mean there won't be an avodah then?
I don't know. A person starts a business and goes to work and builds something, and every day is a struggle, and every day is, and then if someone wins the lottery. There's geschmack, I'll take it. There's a geschmack in winning the lottery. But it's also not just that I like to go to work. I mean, I don't have to be like a Michigan, I like to go to work. But I like to feel that I've had something to do with my parnos, that I've accomplished something, that it's my seichel, that it's my avelus, that it's my pichus, that it's my human interactions that have done it. One likes to feel somewhat participatory in the successes of their life, not just be handed to out of old letters. I'm just. You're right. I'm just guessing.
So how does this the Namadik Sufa idea?
Namadik Sufa
fit into?
Yeah. So it's not Kisufa because once the time we get to the Geula, we've earned it. So maybe that's what's different. So Moshe's saying maybe by the time we get to the Geula, we'll have earned so much. We went through so many Holocausts and pogroms that we're okay with just getting a gift here. Kizelu Mazel Asa Lekim. I had a horror. I just want to give you discussed you for a moment, but I found this. This cup that I hadn't got put away. It didn't get washed out for a long time, so it was a coffee cup. So this morning, so it's like oh my gosh, like this has got an inch of mold. Gross, right? So I'm thinking to myself, isn't that fascinating? Why does food turn into good food? Why does it turn into mold? It's like a dover nifla, so disgusting. How something can be so disgusting. Then I thought to myself, is it really disgusting? How many illnesses and how many deaths were stopped because of this mold? Penicillin, not just penicillin. Penicillin is the famous thing, but there's so many different with the understanding of the omic of mold. The world has changed. It's true. Scientists, right? It's true. So they Dafka frozen was so disgusting and it's so decomposing. I'm looking at this. It's like such a deep thing. Rebeir how you Mataris Hasheretz. Rebeir was Mataris Hasheretz. So it's a type of thing that nobody would eat. No, nobody would. You don't eat mold like that. It's crazy. But to be able to see that the toiv could turn to the ra, and the ra could turn to toiv, and there's an echad there, is a davar different.
See mushrooms.
Eat mushrooms if you have such a
Same type of
patient.
plant.
Yeah, some kind of fungus.
Right.
Yeah, just my thought for the day, moldy thought. V'chol hagadol mechavera yitzrei gadol heimenu k'may she'isa b'sukkah b'talmidei chachamim yoser mikulam. Biggest yetzer haras are found where? By talmidei chachamim. Tichein yosad Hashem yisbarach b'vriya. That's Hashem made the bria that way. This is the mold syndrome. Leos bereisha chashucha v'hadar nahira. That it's dafka out of. It's not that Hashem vayera vayiboker. It's not that Hashem made choshech before He made or, but the choshech was part of the bria of or. The or has to come from choshech. V'haraya, if you don't have any choshech, there's no or. Tira b'yamama maya hanalei. The Gemara says, where you light a match in the middle of the day and noontime outside, nothing. You didn't do anything. It's a bereisha chashucha v'hadar nahira. The nahira came out of the choshech. The yisrain ha'ar, the whole advantage of ar, yasigu mina choshech. All comes from choshech. So that's the Torah Sheh Bal Peh that we're talking about. We were about Drega. We got the Luchas Rishaynos for a few minutes there. We were Tzadikim Gemora, Vayichan Yisrael, Neged Ahar. We were Be'echad, and everybody was like very holy at that moment. It was a holy moment. Lo Namar Behem Toiv. It doesn't say Toiv there. Now, in the whole, let me just explain something here. People say that the Ten Commandments is repeated twice in the Chumash, once in Parshas Yisrael, once in Parshas Eschar. People automatically say this is the Luchas Rishaynos, this is the Luchas Shniyos, which is silly because it's not really true. This is the Luchas Rishaynos is in Yisrael and in Parshas Eschar. Moshe Rabbeinu was telling the story of the Luchas Rishaynos. That's all. So, but comes Chazal and say that there are differences between the Luchas Rishaynos and Luchas Shniyos, and Chazal point out the differences between Parshas Yisrael and Parshas Eschar. There are differences, and Chazal say that Dalacha, that those differences were the difference between Luchas Rishaynos and Luchas Shniyos. It's not obvious in the story because it came later. That's just nishkalent, but they are two different sets of Luchas. So we have a Messiah, let's say, that the Parshas Yisrael, the Luchas of Parshas Yisrael was the Nusach of Luchas Rishaynos. There, it doesn't say Toiv, where Masha'en came by Parshas Eschar, it says Toiv. Where does it say Toiv in the Luchas? Kabed esavicha v'asimacha l'man Toiv loch. Man yitam loch le'pan yitam loch v'ha'arachta yomim. Toiv. So it doesn't say Toiv in the Luchas Rishaynos. It doesn't have that negative. Doesn't say in the Luchas Rishaynos. Why doesn't it say Toiv in the Luchas Rishaynos? Why does it say Toiv in the Luchas Shniyos? It's a Gemara in Baba Kama. Hargoshas Luchas Rishaynos Shnitin l'tzadikim gemurim lo namar behem Toiv. In Luchas Rishaynos, it doesn't say Toiv. Moshe Isa the Hargoshas HaToiv Shebaor Torah Hu HaSagad the Torah Sheh Bal Peh, because the only time where Toiv, let's call Toiv Gishmak, the only place where you have the Gishmak of Torah is only Achar Achet and Achar Tshuva. Now I really appreciate it. Hu HaSagad Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Aidei achidushin deraisa toyim himnoyim hamasikas v'areva shebedivrei Torah k'mishkalu lahem ha'asagas and alamas b'hem mikoydim. I'm not. Just tell you, there's an interesting story on Mashal. Like when I first got married, so I went to Koilel. I left Brisk, and I went to learn by Rabbi Yaacov Haber, Shlit'a. So and Abad Shalom. That's where I went in Koilel. That's where I was in Koilel. So all the years I learned in Litvish yeshivas. So I had chavrusas. One of them was Rabbi Yaacov Haber. So we were learning. So every time I learned, so I would always ask Akasha and Terrence. Like, I was Bal. So I remember that there was a older person there, Chacham Ruben Abudi, his name was, It was a big, huge Talmud Chacham, huge. Everybody there was a huge Talmud Chacham, except for me. It was like huge Talmud. I mean, like crazy Talmud Chacham knew everything. So I remember every time I would learn with this Reuven Abuti, so he would say to me, every time I would talk, he'd give me like this blank stare, and he would say to me, Lama Ashkenazi b'valpeli b'taboach tamid. Just read the Gemara, like, what's and the truth of the matter is, he had such a beautiful way of, such a beautiful way of just saying the Gemara. And it was like you felt like you were you were nursing from your mother's milk. And it just was like so, flowed and smooth and geschmack. And I'm standing there. Ashkenazi b'valpeli b'taboach tamid. It was it was like a constant criticism. I couldn't help myself. That's what it. But the truth of the matter is, what's the pshat? What's the pshat? The pshat is, I think, I'm not saying anything sorry to Ashkenazi, I myself am half-half, but I think the pshat is that, the tsaris, the Holocaust, the pogroms, the tragedies that the running away, the redifites, the ghettos that the Ashkenazim went through, great, nothing to be proud of, created every time you got the Masorah clear, we lost the Masorah. And every time you got a Rebbe, you lost your Rebbe. It was killed. it was a period of 1,000 years. The last 1,000 years in Europe was a period of hellish torture and breaking of Masorah. What was the answer? Volozhin was the answer. The answer is let's figure out what we can do, like a Sneal ben Knas. Let's figure out what we can do so that we don't lose the Masorah. I'm not saying that the Sephardim didn't have any troubles. They get very upset. They tell you didn't have any tsars. And they're tsars, but it was not the same thing. It wasn't a Holocaust. And the Taka didn't lose their Masorah. They have a stronger Masorah than we have. No question. I mean, just the Masorah, the Minhagim, the pronunciation of the words, everything. Their Masorah is much stronger than our Masorah. There are many rayas to the fact that their Masorah was makes more sense. But what they're missing is in the Mashal, the pilpul of Torah Sheh Bal Peh, which is pretty geschmack, which is pretty geschmack. But it's not that smooth, sweet tom, So. So the Lucha Shniyas, says Rabbi Tzadok brilliantly, doesn't have the word toiv in it. The Torah Sheh Bal Peh, Hidei Achidushin Doiraisa, Tayam Im Noyam Hamasikus Va'arevush Shebedivrei Torah. It was only after the Chet of the Egel where we received the sweetness of Torah. Va'arevush Shebedivrei Torah Kishim Iskalu Lahem HaSogus HaNalamos Mehem Mikoyim. And here this sentence is underlinable. Iker hargoshes haneimos ba'asogas hanelam. I just love the sentence. That you want to know what geschmack is when you uncover the hidden. I believe this is true in every single aspect of life. Something which is there in your face, isn't it true? Has no ne'imus. It could be something that you're dreaming about, but if it's there, like people. Be Megala, ksas. Surprise somebody with a gift. I want to know what a treasure hunt. Make a treasure hunt. Are you reading this? You come here for the news, but there's a millionaire in Los Angeles who has nothing else to do except for on Twitter. He hides $200 in various places all over California, and he gives hints on Twitter. And there's thousands of people that are looking, rich people, poor people, men, women, everybody looking for this. And he would say things, a place where bad birds congregate and hide in the sand. Aha. People find it, and then they tweet it, and then he has another one. It's like this is going on already for about 6 months.
It's got to be a big business.
Well, there's something. What's going on? The money's there.
I'm going to sell it to Google.
absolutely. I mean,
It's a Jew, right?
a Jewish guy, yeah.
I'm sure.
Hundreds and thousands of hits a day. I'm trying, but what's the Gishma? They has a whole name for it. First of all, why is he doing this? Is like interesting. You're a cynic. why is he doing the Gishmak treasure hunt? Like if I have, what's this whole business costing him? $5,000, $10,000? How much is costing him already? Not that big of a, it's not millions of dollars. $200.
Great advertising.
Fantastic, unbelievable. So, but there are thousands of people looking for this. The Gishmak. This is Iker Hargoshes Haneimus. You want to feel Neimus? Hu Bahasogas Hanelam. Treasure hunts. It's all about a treasure hunt. I'm telling you, I'm just between us, the exposure, complete exposure, takes the whole Neimus out of everything. The beauty of a Jewish marriage is Ne'elam. There's some things that are hidden. The beauty of a relationship between even a parent and a child is that the child doesn't know everything that's going on in the world of the parent. It doesn't have to be complete exposure. There's no masikus. You know the difference between if you look at the presidents of the world, the prime ministers, like everybody's knowing their schedule, from this is when he gets up and this is when he exercises when he for breakfast, like every single thing is documented. There's no, you go to a great Hasidic Rebbe, what's he doing at 10 o'clock in the morning? Nobody knows. Nobody knows it. Whatever he's doing, it must be like a really holy thing, it's in the middle of the night he's doing. But, that's the difference between history and story. History, story. That's the Torah Sheh Bal Peh is this Hasagas Hanelam. It's just such an important everything. Hasagas Hanelam. This is how you give masikus in this world. This is how you get masikus in this world. Don't go for the exposed. Little by little.
It seems like
He's selling paintings. You should unveil it. You unveil little by little. Talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more while you open the box. This is you're going to show it. Boop, here, you lost the whole thing. That was right. Everything is like that. I tell you something. Even here, everybody's you say good Dvar Torah. You don't. The whole chap of creating a masikus in a Dvar Torah is to be megal tefach, havdalos. Even a joke, you can't just get to the punchline. Like this is the hasagas hargosh ikar hargoshes haneimus ubasagas hanelam shezehu yisrein ha'ar me'achoshev. Why? Because you're bringing light out of darkness. That's what people are waiting for you to do. Bring light out of darkness. The luchais rishaynais or the Torah Sheh B'Ksav balzeh amru the Torah leikar toiv. So that's a mevorshah gemara in Erchin. That or the Torah la'ikra toiv. Now we're not just saying luchas rishonos. We're saying Torah is not toiv. I mean, it does toiv. It says toiv li Torah spicha. V'ayin shabbat toisus. The Gemara says in Erchin Yud Aleph. I have it here. The Gemara says like this. I'm going to tell you this Gemara offhand. It just happened to be. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Minayin la'ikra. This is a Gemara in Erchin. Minayin leikar shira min Torah. The Gemara asks, how do we know shira, Moshe? How do we know that there's an inyan of shira, meaning giving praise to Hashem, through derech shira? How do we know that from the Chumash? Rav Masna Amar Mihacha Tachas Asher Lo Yavadatas Hashem Elokecha B'Simcha V'Tuv Leivav. That since it says in the Teichacha that the reason why all the terrible Yisurim could come on Klal Yisrael Chas v'Shalom is not because we didn't do the mitzvahs, but Tachas Asher Lo Yavadatas Hashem Elokecha B'Simcha V'Tuv Leivav. Zok Gemara, Ezu Avodah Sheb'Simcha V'Tuv Leivav. What does the Torah want from us? What does Moshe Rabbeinu want from us when he says you didn't do it B'Simcha V'Tuv Leivav? Haviyom is a shira. So we see that shira meaning whistle while you work, right? So singing is a chelik of the avoda to do the avoda b'simcha. Kohanim have to do avoda b'simcha. Not b'simcha, you're fired. You have to do the avoda b'simcha and b'zrizos, because you can't be b'zrizos unless you're b'simcha. You know this? So take a look at Tanya Perek Chavav. You can't be b'zrizos. A person's not going to be b'zrizos. You're going to be atzal. You're going to be kaved unless you're b'simcha. If If you're b'simcha, you're jumping. I could look at Talmidei Chachamim in the street walking, and I can tell who's depressed and who's onto a big project and doing something, or writing a sefer, or starting a yeshiva, or doing something good. You can just see by the bounce in their walk. That's how you can see it. Because if you're not accomplishing anything, and that's the Torah Sheh Bal Peh, if you're not accomplishing anything, you're not b'simcha, and if you're not b'simcha, you're not b'zrizos, and the body language tells it all. Ema divrei Torah. What about divrei Torah itself? Why isn't that simcha d'chsiv? I'm still quoting the Gemara. Pekudei Hashem yisar misamechei leiv. Misamechei leiv yikra toiv lo yikra. It's true, it's misamech, but not toiv yet. Toiv is more than simcha. Tachas asher lo yavadas Hashem l'kecha b'simcha u'b'tuv leiv. You need toiv. Toisus has the kasha like I've toiv b'sati look at toiv. Toivli Teraspicha. Taisus gives his answer, but says Rabbi Tzadok that Beseder, like there's different lashonos of Toiv which are possible in the Torah Sheh B'Ksav, different types of Shira, but you're not going to have the Toiv, the ultimate Toiv, you're not going to have unless you're struggling for it. Luchas Rishonos who are Torah Sheh B'Ksav, Balzeh Amru the Torah Loi Ikrit Toiv. Torah is not called Toiv. Ein Shematoisus, the Ramascha Mesamech, Hikshem Mikor Lekach Toiv Nosati, Toiv Li Teres Picha, Betiras Dil Toiva Samuch L'Simcha Loi, Oy Tuv Leiv Loi. It's a different type of Toiv. Ubezat Terutzim Emes V'Oilach L'Makam Echa, Ki Be'emes Isa Ein Toiv Ela Torah. So before she Gemara in Brachas, that Ein Toiv Ela Torah. There's a little Torah here. V'chein Isa Gam Kein, Yavei Toiv Yikabel Toiv. Gemara Menachah says that Moshe's name was Tovia. So his name was Tovia, Yavoi Toiv, Makabel Toiv. That's what the Gemara says in Menachos when he's Makabel Torah. V'shayresh ha-toiv shebebriya hi ha-Torah. U'milas toiv harishin shnemer b'Torah, u'tchilas habriya. Where's the first time it says Torah in the Chumash? Toiv in the Chumash? Vayar vayboiker, vayar Hashem ki toiv. Shlishi. First day. It says Toiv Moed. Vayar Hashem ki Toiv.
First day is once and third is
Vayavdel ein mayim l'mayim. Ouch. Right? Vayavdel ein mayim l'mayim. Havdalah vayar Hashem ki Toiv. That's the shot. Umilas Toiv harishin shnemer b'Torah b'tchilas habriya the mistama sham shayrish v'ikar kol ha-Toiv. We have a klal gadol. I thought it was the Gra. Tzadok says it. The klal gadol bedin that the first time a word appears in the Torah, that's where the concept was invented. So the concept of Toiv was invented by Sheshes and Bereshis. Ikar kol ha-Toiv hu ba'ar shu ar Torah. Right? Ar. Hashem. The first thing Hashem made was ar. It says ki Toiv.
Tzadok was before the Gra.
So before Hashem made the sun and the moon, there was Vayar Vayboker, there was an Ar. So what does the Gemara say about that Ar? That Hashem, that was an Ar Aganus. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that was the Ar that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put away for Tzadikim. The original Ar. Then we get the Ar from the sun. So he was Ganus. Who's a Ganus for? For Tzadikim La'asad Lavai. Who's the Tzadikim La'asad Lavai? That's us. That's us, because it's talking about the Or of Torah Sheh Bal Peh. The Or HaGanuz is the Torah Sheh Bal Peh, which came after the Shviras HaLuchos Rishonos, into Luchos Shtiyos, after the Chorban Bayis Rishon, came the Or HaGanuz, that hidden light, which we had to struggle for. It was hidden because what we said is it was Anela, Iker Mesikas HaChaim, who Hasagas Anela. Avul Oisar Nignaz Veiner Nigla Bailam Azav, Al-Kei Namer Bar Vayihi, Vayihi, Erev Vayihi, Boiker Vayihi, Shulashin Sarah, because we lost that struggle. Kamash Yisa Bebreshis Rabbah. Ketuv Aganus Begave, Ve'inoi Beiskalus Shemitzad HaTorah Shebiksav Shebaskalus. It's not in the Torah Sheh B'Ksav in a way that you could see it. Rak Mitzad Hasagas, and here we have the site again. What's the Or HaGanuz? The Or HaGanuz, the hidden light. It's a hidden light. So the whole pshat in the hidden light is to be Megala, the hidden light. The Hainu, Rak mitzad hasagas hamistoirin the Torah Sheh Bal Peh. It's bringing out the mistoirin, right? Mistoirin, mystery, seser. Seser. Mystery comes from the word seser. Mistoirin, mystery. Sheh Bal Peh. You have to be, Torah Sheh Bal Peh is mysterious. Kabbalah is more mysterious. It's mysterious. It's not all out there. So the fact that it's not all out there means that we have to struggle, but that struggle is the whole Masikas of Torah. Shu hasaga shebehester v'helam. A hasaga of that which is hidden. Right? V'alkein lo nikra toiv b'loshen hakasav b'ferish rak lekach. It's called lekach. Dahainu mitzad halokech. Beautiful word. Ki lekach toiv nosati lochem. A lekach nosati lochem. Why is it called a lekach? He gave it. Matana toiv. Right? It says there's a lekach and a matana. A matana is something which has the word in the sherish of tain. Matana is no saying. Lekach is lokeach, the two sides of the transaction. Matana, lekach. Ki lekach toiv nosati lochem. Steer. Matana toiv nosati lochem. Why is it lekach toiv? Because this matana is not a matana kamo shehu. It's only a matana that you have to. It's like a heath kit. You always have to open it up and you have to rebuild it, and you have to create it, and that's the kind of thing this is. So this is mitzad halokeach, not mitzad hanose. Hence the pasuk, hilachach toiv nosati lochem. A beautiful pshat. Mekach toiv. Shem yicholim lahasig hatoiv the goniz bigavei. It's only us that can be masig the tova bigavei, the goniz bigavei that's hidden inside of our yidei giyasim ba kishikablu me'ava v'cheshek l'chol alei. V'David HaMelech olav v'sholom amar toiv li Torah spicha. David HaMelech was the first one to say tov li Torah spicha. He got the tov. She'etzlehu toiv, kihumidas hamalchus. Malchus means came all the way down. Hit rock bottom, David HaMelech did. So Melech, David Melech, Yisrael. So in order to have malchus, he can't be up there at all. It's all struggle. Everything is struggle. Everything is struggle. Wars, looking for Yerushalayim, Averis, complicated life. David HaMelech came from Benos Lot, came from Rus, very complicated. to find the toy, we have David Melech Yisrael, because you had to get those lowest things, like the Benos Lot and Amoin and Moav, and you had to, and Yehuda and Tamar, and you had to have all those things in order to have Malchus. Otherwise, you don't have Malchus. But if you don't have Malchus, you don't have Toiv. Get it? Midas HaMalchus poi Torah Sheh Bal Peh, kihu Midas HaMalchus poi Torah Sheh Bal Peh karinama. Peh, Torah Spicha. Torah Spicha. Toiv li Torah Spicha. You get it? Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Toiv li Torah Spicha. He didn't say Torah Ksavcha. Tov li Torah that you wrote. Torah Shebiksav. Toivli, Torah Spicha is Torah Spicha, Torah Sheh Bal Peh. The Torah that comes with the struggle, that's Toivli. That's what David HaMelech was talking about. I get it now. I after falling into so many different levels, down, now I get it. The Yisrain ha'or min ha'choshech. I can get the or now from the choshech. Toivli Torah Spicha, shu sherish ha'Torah Sheh Bal Peh, Ba'gever shehukam oila shel tshuva. That's a Gemara in Avodah Zarah in Moed Katan that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to David HaMelech, in a way, it's good you were choteh because you taught the world how to do tshuva. It's never good you're choteh, but it's good you're choteh because you taught the world that there's a way to get back in, there's a way to rehabilitate. And that was what you did. But that what you did is scraping the malchus. This is mamish the malchus of Hashem. Means that even in Avera you can find HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu asagas ha'or min ha'choshech. Shebazehu asagas ha'toiv v'hanoyam sheboy v'zeh nikra toiv leiv. Shehu, what's a toiv leiv? What's a toiv leiv? Tov Leiv. Hu argoshes ha-toiva va'or b'pnimis ha-leiv. Shemimenu nimshechas ha-simcha. You know what I mean? In other words, if I'm understanding correctly, a good-hearted person, Toiv Leiv Yivarach, it's a Lashon Psukim. Toiv Leiv is someone who's besimcha, someone who can see good even where there's no obvious good. That's a good-hearted person. Somebody who can give to somebody else, even if it's not obvious, you should give to that person. Somebody who has it's a Toiv Leiv is the Megala Nistarim. Toiv Leiv Hu Yivarach. Not everyone sees what's obviously good. Everybody wants to invest in. It's the
Leiv.
Yes, so the leiv is hidden,
Leiv is hidden, right.
and the toiv leiv is somebody who's megala mistarim. Megala mistarim. The whole Megillas Esther, by the way, which is where all this started, because everything was bad, and then we had to figure out how this could be good, is called the Megillah. They called it the first one that they actually called the Megillah. Megala mistarim. Megillah is Megala, Lashon Megala. Afterwards, they called everything Megillah. Okay. Shu argoshes hatoiva va'or b'pnimis halev shemimenu nimshechas ha-simcha. K'may shenamar simcha leish b'mane piv. Mane piv, again, shu hasagas Torah Sheh Bal Peh. Shu b'piv, shu yuchol anois l'shoy like davar be'itay, v'hu matay. Davar be'itay, another case. All the cases of toiv are talking about things that you have to be megala. Davar be'itay, matay. Ein shem b'toishvis, mashadar shal pasuk, vayitav liboy, in Rus. By Boaz it says, vayitav liboy. She'asak b'torah hu darash, v'lay mefurish b'kosav. Ein sham, v'hainu de mitzad ha-drosh, v'hasagas ha-Torah Sheh Bal Peh, dahai, hu nikra toiv leiv. It's shu ikar ha-toiv sheba'olam, l'sheina b'skalos. So in other words, bottom line is Valkain, B'Rishon is number Lashon Tov B'Klal. So let's just sum up that the Lashon of Tov, B'Sikum, is not written in the Luchos Rishonos. Doesn't say L'man Yitavlo. Because Tov is only a Tov which is an unobvious Tov. A Tov is only a Tov, it's only something that's really good. It's okay if it's there, but it's really good if it has to be revealed. Because the Ikar B'Sikus and Neimas HaChaim B'Hasagas HaNelam. It's all about uncovering. And why? Why is that? Because uncovering is my struggle, and my struggle is my participation. This is my part in it. Right? It's called, person who struggled for Torah is a bigger simcha. Person who struggled with their children is a bigger simcha. It's a bigger simcha. It's a bigger tov. That's the tov that we're looking for. That's the tov of Torah Sheh Bal Peh. So it comes out that the tov li Torah Picha was dafka said by David HaMelech, says Rabbi Tzadok. He's arguing with Tosfos here. It was dafka said by David HaMelech because he scraped the bottom. And since he scraped the bottom, he was able to say toiv. And it was only HaKadosh Baruch Hu that said, Vayehi, I have to take this or of the Sheish Bereshis of Begoynezit. Vayehi is a Lashon Sar, but that's where the real Or Haganus is. So the real Or Haganus is in the Torah Sheh Bal Peh, is something that we can be Megala.
Seems like it's a great argument for the eating from the Eitz Das. Tov Ra, first of all, there's a Tov and something coming out of the Ra. But it seems like from eating, now we live in a world we're going to have to, it's dark and we have to work for it, and it sounds like actually a better place to be.
Right. So, we discuss very often, like, wasn't that a better place to be? But that's like saying it's a good thing we made the Egel.
Yeah.
So I don't know the ultimate answer, but the historical and the chronology of what had to happen, we have to eat from the Eitz Das.
Here's
We had to eat, and there had to be a shviras haluchos.
Here's a mashal. Did you ever see when you give a child a toy, a new toy? It's wonderful. They get happy about it. But the real fun of it is playing with it, making it their own, and bringing it into life, making it alive.
Making a kinyan.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, the mashal, the real fun is to be megala the toy.
Exactly.
The wrapping paper is way more interesting than the toy.
Great.
I once read this, that when they first invented cake mixes, Duncan Hines, it was cake mixes, 1952. So they weren't selling. Nobody bought them. Make a cake. What's this business of pouring powder into a thing and making a cake? It's not making a cake. So what they did is they took the egg out of the recipe, out of the mix, and they put on the instructions, add 1 egg. Oh, it sold like hotcakes. Shot is like like this. You come to the table and say, "I made this cake." Which you do already, you crack an egg, but that's the human participation in the. Can't be given everything spoon-fed. It has no tov to it.
That's right. That's right.
How do you explain the passage again of Tachat Asher Levad Hashem Simcha and the Levad? So the Simcha, the Levad is the extension of
Simcha. That's what he says.
And Simcha is what?
So Simcha Zutayra. But that's what he says. Simcha Zutayra. You already find that Simcha is there. But Simcha V'Tuv Levav, that the Torah should be with Gishmak of Torah.
And Torah Sheh Bal Peh, so to speak, is a Tuv Levad.
That's the Tuv Levav.
Torah Sheh B'Chtav.